Some objects in this world carry stories. Others carry something far darker. Locked inside a glass case in Connecticut sits a simple Raggedy Ann doll. It has a soft smile, red yarn hair, and an innocent face. But according to paranormal investigators, this doll is responsible for terrifying attacks, unexplained movements, and encounters that left people physically injured. Its name is Annabelle. And many believe it is one of the most dangerous haunted objects in the world. This is the true story behind the real Annabelle doll. Long before Hollywood turned it into a horror icon, the real story began in 1970. A young nursing student named Donna received a gift from her mother. It was a Raggedy Ann doll, the kind many children grew up with. Donna lived in a small apartment in Hartford, Connecticut with her roommate Angie. Both were busy nursing students with long schedules and little time to relax. At first, the doll was nothing more than a decoration. Donna placed it on her bed and rarely thought about it. But after a few days, something strange started happening. Whenever Donna left the apartment and returned later, the doll seemed to move. Sometimes it would be sitting on the couch. Other times it would be leaning against a wall in the living room. At first, Donna assumed Angie was moving it as a joke. But Angie insisted she had never touched it. The movement slowly became more disturbing. Donna would place the doll on her bed before leaving for class. When she returned home, the doll would be in a completely different room. Once, she even found the doll kneeling on a chair, as if it had climbed there by itself. The girls started feeling uneasy in their own apartment. But things were about to get even stranger. One afternoon, Donna found a small piece of parchment paper on the floor. Written on it were 2 words. "Help us." The handwriting looked shaky, almost like a child had written it. Soon more notes began appearing around the apartment. Each one written on parchment paper the girls did not even own. And every message said the same thing. "Help us." Donna and Angie had no explanation. They checked the doors and windows, thinking maybe someone was entering the apartment while they were away. But everything was always locked. Then something happened that terrified them. One day Donna returned home and found the doll lying on her bed. Its hands were covered in red stains that looked like blood. That was the moment they realized they needed help. Through a friend, the girls contacted a psychic medium to investigate the situation. During a seance inside the apartment, the psychic claimed she had made contact with a spirit. According to the psychic, the spirit was a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. She said the girl had died years ago and her spirit had attached itself to the doll. The psychic told Donna and Angie that the spirit felt safe with them and only wanted permission to stay. Feeling sympathy for what they believed was the spirit of a lost child, the girls agreed. They told the spirit it could remain in the apartment. But that decision would soon prove to be a terrible mistake. Their friend Lou had always been suspicious of the doll. He said something about it felt wrong. One night Lou stayed at the apartment and fell asleep on the couch. In the middle of the night, he suddenly woke up. But he couldn't move. It felt like something was pressing down on his body. His eyes slowly moved across the room. And that's when he saw it. The Annabelle doll was sitting in a chair across the room. Lou watched in horror as the doll slowly began moving toward him. Closer. Closer. Until it was sitting on his chest. Then everything went black. Lou woke up the next morning shaking with fear, unsure if the experience had been a nightmare. But days later, something even more terrifying happened. Lou and Angie were walking through the apartment when they heard strange noises coming from Donna's bedroom. It sounded like something moving inside the room. Thinking someone had broken in, Lou walked toward the door. When he opened it, the room was empty. Nothing had been disturbed. Except the doll. It was sitting alone on the floor. As Lou stepped closer, he suddenly felt a sharp burning pain across his chest. He jumped back and lifted his shirt. 7 deep claw marks had appeared across his chest. Fresh. Bleeding. The wounds healed within a few days. But the fear never left. At this point, Donna and Angie realized they were dealing with something far beyond their understanding. They contacted a local priest for help. The priest then reached out to two paranormal investigators known across the United States for studying supernatural cases. Their names were Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens had investigated hundreds of haunted locations and objects. When they examined the doll and listened to the girl's story, they quickly came to a disturbing conclusion. The psychic had been wrong. According to the Warrens, spirits cannot possess dolls. Instead, they believed something far darker was involved. A demonic entity. They explained that the entity had been pretending to be a little girl to gain the girl's sympathy. Once Donna allowed the spirit to stay, the entity gained permission to enter their lives. And its behavior was becoming more dangerous. The Warrens warned the girls that if the activity continued, the entity might eventually try to possess a human. The only safe solution was to remove the doll immediately. After a blessing by the priest, Ed Warren carefully wrapped the doll and placed it in his car. But the journey home became terrifying. While driving, Ed suddenly lost control of the steering wheel. The brakes failed multiple times. The engine stalled repeatedly. Each time, the doll sat quietly in the back seat. Finally, Ed pulled the car over and sprinkled holy water on the doll. After that, the car drove normally again. The Warrens brought the doll to their home in Connecticut. Inside their house was a private collection of haunted artifacts known as the Warren Occult Museum. They placed the doll inside a wooden case and sealed it with protective. Warning: positively do not open. Even inside the case, strange things continued to happen. Visitors reported feeling sick, dizzy, or suddenly overwhelmed with fear while standing near the doll. One visitor reportedly mocked the doll and hit the glass case while laughing. Later that night, while riding his motorcycle home, he lost control and crashed. He survived, but his girlfriend was seriously injured. According to the Warrens, the doll should never be challenged. Today, the real Annabelle doll still exists. Unlike the porcelain doll shown in the movies, the real Annabelle is still a simple Raggedy Ann doll. But many paranormal investigators believe its power is very real. The doll remained locked inside the Warren Occult Museum for decades. And the warning on the glass case never changed. Do not open. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story of the real Annabelle doll has frightened people around the world for over 50 years. Because if the Warrens were right, then somewhere in Connecticut, behind a locked glass case, a harmless-looking doll is still sitting quietly, waiting, watching, and hoping someone makes the mistake of opening the case.